All right. What's up, everyone? It's the Aftertouch podcast. It's your boy Tyler. I got my boy Taft here.
How's it going?
We got a special guest on today. It's our friend Sam Hirsche.
Oh yeah.
He's not the first person to come on twice, but he's the first person to come on with a hickey. But we won't show that.
Allegedly, we angled the camera so that it was from the right direction.
She's gonna be so pissed. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Don't be sprouting that fake news here. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff. We're going to be talking about hashtag metoo, and maybe we'll hit on some feminism. So that's part 2, though. So let's talk about hashtag metoo. Sam, over the weekend? Over the weekend?
It was like Saturday.
Yeah, got into some big trouble on a Facebook post that you did about the hashtag metoo movement. I've got opinions. I'm sure we all do have opinions. But Sam, what did you write?
Okay, I'll just read it verbatim.
Yeah.
And let me preface it with this. I was not attacking people that have been sexually assaulted by any means.
Jerk.
I know.
What you did, you've done.
Such a tool. No. So this is what I posted. I said, I love how a ton of my friends who posted hashtag MeToo posts on Facebook and Twitter are also going to see the new 50 Shades of Grey film this weekend. Way to perpetuate the problem of sexual violence and assault. Nothing like a professional victim.
Ooh. And then they were all like, those two are completely different.
Oh yeah. Well, like people were saying, this person commented, perpetuating the problem would be voluntary allowing yourself to exist in an unhealthy sexual relationship with someone, not seeing a Hollywood movie depiction of it. And like, how can you sit there and say, okay, well, sexual assault is awful, like it ruins lives, which I agree with. Sexual assault ruins lives.
If you do it, you deserve to be destroyed.
Right. But at the same time, like, you can't go watch a movie that glamorizes it because you're just it's counteracting your whole movement of, hashtag me too. Like, we have to stand up to sexual assault, but we're going to go to the movie theater and watch all these Hollywood producers make a film about it. And granted, not everything in the movie is all sexual assault.
There's a storyline, man.
There's a storyline, and like some of it is consensual. I haven't seen it. I haven't read the books, and I never will. But I know enough to know that it gives the idea that sexual assault and abuse is okay in a relationship.
And here's the thing also with the hashtag MeToo movement is that, they're like, it's just kind of polarizing because like you'll have these celebrities and then they'll be like jiggling their butts and they'll be wearing like these like really like skimpy stuff. And you're just like, okay, if you're against sexual assault, what is up? Like, how am I as a man supposed to interpret what you are doing?
Right. I think part of it is like, I think it's up to us as men to recognize that, we view women as sexual people, as sexual beings. Like that's our nature, right? It's up to us to control those urges. I think that women should be allowed to wear whatever they want, do whatever they want, right? Within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
We need to control ourselves. But if you're going to go out and say, hey, like you need to respect women and not, make them look like sexual objects, you need to not do things that make yourself look like a sexual object.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be respected, you have to show respect. And dressing like a hooker does not give you any like respect, It doesn't respect yourself either.
Have you heard that Dave Chappelle joke where he's like, I hate it when I see women, they're barely wearing anything. And then they're like, I am not a whore. And you go, we're wearing a whore's outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
And not saying that, there's nothing wrong with them dressing how they want. They should be able to dress like that. But just know that you are in turn making yourself into a sexual object.
Yeah.
And I mean, we shouldn't view you that way, but you're not helping.
Well, it's also Hollywood, our main consumption of media comes from Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. And all of these movies use women as sexual objects, right? There's so many. Look at the James Bond films, right? Most of the posters have a woman dressed like sexually, right? Nice. And they're using her as an object.
Yes.
And so you can't sit there and tell me, well, we are all up against sexual harassment and sexual assault, but we're also going to objectify women, right? You can't have it both ways. And that's my issue with the Me Too movement is like, first of all, it got way too out of hand.
Oh my gosh, it's so out of hand.
There are so many people that have been sexually assaulted and a lot of people that I know, like my close friends have been, right? And, I want nothing more for them to be healed and to, be happy and move on with their lives. But at the same time, like, there's so many people that went on Twitter and, said that they've been sexually assaulted that it digresses, the powerful speech that these people are giving. It digresses their point that they've been sexually assaulted because there's so many things that people claim as sexual assault that
I touched her knee.
Yeah, like he hugged me, at the company work party, right? And that's
and
sexual assault,
and I didn't want it,
right? And I'm not saying that's everybody, but a few small people ruin it for everybody, which is sad. And that was my issue with it.
Okay, what was the harshest comment that you got?
Oh man, I think.
I mean, you said did you get some private messages?
I got a private. Well, there's somebody that I know commented, and he said that I needed to do more to support women and their feminist movements, and me posting things like that totally deteriorates their movement, and that I don't respect women. And he was like, if you want to talk about it off of Facebook, I'm more than happy to. Which is dude, no one wants to have this discussion with you because you're never gonna listen. All you do is argue, right? Nobody ever changes their political opinion over Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I just messaged him. I'm like, listen, man, I do plenty of things to support, the true definition of feminism and uplifting women. And how dare you accuse me of not supporting women when my post was all about how we need to stop sexually assaulting women, right? And I don't know. I shouldn't have posted it, but I don't regret it.
But like you said, it's gone too far. And I think one of the people, Aziz Ansari, did you hear that thing?
Oh, yeah.
You hear about that thing? So
Can't even go on a date without some girl
without
accusing him.
And she was just like, I didn't want to have sex with him, but I did everything else. But I didn't want to, but I did it. But why were you there?
Why were you there?
And you kept doing it. It's not like you said no during it. You were like,
I didn't want to, but I also still performed sex acts on them.
I was like,
but
fine.
I didn't want to. I don't know. There's no with sexual harassment and assault. There's no in between. There's no gray area. It's either you were sexually assaulted or you were not.
And man, this is bad for men.
Yeah.
Men, how are you ever to go out with someone with the fear of is this okay? Have you seen the video of how to have sex with a girl these days?
Mm-mm.
And it's just they're making out. He goes, hey, can I touch your leg? She's like, yeah, sure. So he's like, okay. And then he goes, can I unbutton your? Oh no, not yet. He's like, okay. And then they're still. And then he goes, can I do it now? And she's like, yeah. And I was just like, way to ruin. This is ruining the mood, man. Just all these rules, taking away the passion. But it is scary though. If you were to take a girl out, what can you? She could. And the other thing with the hashtag Me Too. It will just an accusation will ruin your life.
Yeah, it can ruin your life
forever.
Yeah,
you will. There is no coming back.
Yeah,
Taft touches my shoulder wrong, and I'm like, I'm a victim. Taft's done. Taft is done. Hashtag Me Too.
Yeah, Me Too.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It makes me crazy. I just want it's. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, man. It's been a long day.
Destroyed though the sad thing is it destroyed the girls who actually have
it destroyed the reputation, or not the reputation, it destroyed the validity of these women who have actually been sexually assaulted
by monsters,
right? And going on a different tangent, I was reading that comment that kid sent me in the group message. He messaged me. He's like, well, if you're trying to say that sexual assault and pornography is bad, why don't you just come out and say it, right? And it brings me to my point. I was thinking the other day, I was like, when people are being sexually assaulted, right, nobody ever looks at what's the root cause of why people are being sexually assaulted, right? You look at the Vegas shooting, right? People are like, okay, this guy killed 50-something people, 60 people. Okay, why did he do it, right? It's gun control. Well, we have gun control issues. We have mental health issues. We have, whatever. Nobody says, okay, well, why did Dr. Nassar get away with molesting and 100 girls, right? Nobody looks at the fact that, well, maybe he has a history of looking at child pornography, right? And over the years, maybe his looking at pornography has progressed into the point where he thinks in his mind assaulting women is okay because he sees it so often in pornography, right? And that's the same thing that 50 Shades of Grey movie perpetuates, is that, pornography in any form of it, whether it's soft pornography or it's hardcore pornography you see on the internet, it's all the same. It all perpetuates the fact that sexuality is just open and free and that you can do whatever you want with whomever you want.
Yeah.
And it's such a taboo topic that nobody wants to talk about it because everybody knows the dangers of it, because so many people watch it, they don't want to alienate anybody. That's why the media never talks about, pornography, right?
I watched a documentary, and I'm pissed I can't remember it. It was on Netflix. It's got Rashida Jones. She's in
Oh yeah. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt too, right?
It's not a movie. It's a
Oh, it's not a
documentary.
movie?
It's a Life as a Call Girl.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
It's just like she just follows girls who are entering the porn business. And
lovely.
Rashida Jones is very much not necessarily against the porn business, but she's just like, I need to educate people that this is all fake. And also wants to educate women on the fact of how sad it is being in the porn industry. And like you see like these girls and a lot of them are just like, gotta do what I gotta do to get famous these days. And you're just like no. And like some of the stuff that they go through like in these like pornographic scenes, like she doesn't show him, but like you get like enough, she'll be like, so what did you do today? And like they'll just say it and you're just like that is just like, and then you go, the fact that people are watching this,
Yeah.
like no wonder we're having like no wonder men are dehumanizing women and then abusing them because they're watching these things. They
Yeah.
go, oh, girls must like this.
Yeah.
No,
That's not how it works.
that's not how it works.
No, I firmly believe that no healthy sexual relationship starts with abuse. You know, like you look at, any relationship, whether it's like my parents or the girl I'm dating, right? Like, there's always that physical attraction there, but it never starts out naturally like, man, like I just want to abuse her. Like it never starts like that. Like there has to be some root issue. And it's good that the Rashida Jones and Joseph Gordon-Levitt did a movie about the pornography industry as well. And it's important that
that Dawn one.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
he just watches, where he can't fall in love with girls because he'd rather watch porn.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't
that's
watch
what
it.
it is. I watched about half of it and then I fell asleep. So
Scarlett Johansson couldn't entice you during
I'm the
that
first
movie.
man to fall asleep in a Scarlett Johansson movie. I promise. That's not my proudest moment, but it's a moment nonetheless.
The girlfriend was probably happy. She's like, "That's my man.
She's like, "That's
my
my
man."
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. It is super sad though that like, and yeah, I don't think people are like, I don't think we're looking at the causes. And the sad thing is, in this day and age, the cause right now, quotes, the cause is just men are evil.
Men are evil, right? Oh yeah. There's this we have this like, and especially like in the feminist movement, this like gynocentric model of women are the center of everything, right? Where we have this man-hating, all these feminists that they go and don't get me wrong, like I'm all for the equality of women and having them be treated just as well as equally as men, right? That's true feminism. Like if you look at like Emma Watson, her like he for she movement is all about men helping women become treated equally, right? And it's like anti-porn. It's all about uplifting and helping women, right? But you have these women that go on these rants and these they parade around with genitalia on their heads, right? Like how does that help
they're like
further your
topless,
cause?
or they're topless, and
right?
they're like, why are all these men taking pictures of me?
Yeah,
and we're just like,
exactly.
what do you think we're going to do?
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, well, like, yeah, and like, and
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue. But like, you can't. The hypocrisy behind it is just like it makes me nauseated, and that's kind of the point of my post was I was trying to point out the hypocrisy behind these women that will complain about sexual assault all day and say, oh man, it's so screwed up, men are such pigs. But then they'll go watch this movie where this man sexually assaults this woman, right? And granted, it's consensual in the movie, but like,
Well, she signs a contract.
she signs a contract, right? Okay, you're telling me that's healthy? You think men and women do that aside from a prenup, which whatever. It's just not normal. It just doesn't happen,
Yeah. Taft, what is your take on the hashtag #MeToo? And like, does that scare you on taking a girl out, or do you think that you take out like level-headed girls? Or?
No, it doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
Like
because you're a gentleman.
Yeah, I try to be,
Yeah.
and like honestly, I'll leave it at that. It doesn't scare me. I'm not worried about it because I can usually pick up on when a girl is a bit crazy.
Well, it's that, and also like you read of all these stories where these women are sexually assaulted, right? And it's like it's these women and these men that like their goal is to have sex on the first date, right? That's when a lot of it occurs. Like the Aziz Ansari, for example, that was their first date. That's when it happened, right? Most of the girls, well, all of the girls that I date, hopefully, are the ones that are not going to try to have sex on the first date. And like that's definitely not my that's not my agenda,
Yeah.
And so I think it shouldn't be a scary thing if you have the right priorities.
Yeah. And like with the Aziz story, he knew, like obviously he knew what he wanted, obviously, but then she was like going in there like, I just want to have a conversation, but I'm gonna do all these things, but like at no point was she just like, oh, he just wants to have sex, I should leave. But then she says, you're just like everyone else I've done this to, and you're just like, wait, you're a repeat offender.
Exactly.
So you're a repeat offender.
It should be a red flag.
You go into celebrities' homes and like, I want to have a nice conversation. Oh, this is weird that they all just want to have sex with me, and you're just like, derp and der, like, like, it's ridiculous.
You got to stay away from the repeat offenders, man.
Oh,
you got to look for the crazy eyes.
The crazy eyes. Yeah, and I feel bad because the hashtag Me Too it's a super important movement because like we're hearing a lot about things. I have a really hard time though with got in trouble with a friend. She was like Tyler's got some messed up views on rape, and I heard her say that, and I was like,
oh, that's just opening the can.
and I was just like, excuse me, what? And she's just like, oh yeah, I mean you do, and I was like, no, I was like, what? How can you have a messed up view on rape?
Rape is wrong.
It's either it's wrong,
either it is or it isn't.
and then and then she was just like, well, you think that it's not always the victim's fault, and I said, well, yeah, there's always two sides to it, like, and I don't like condemn or condone what's going on with them, like only God knows what really happened, but like that Brock Turner case, or for now he's a monster, but I was like, okay, well let's just like go back what happened. They were both super drunk, super high. They both, alcohol and drugs in their system.
You make bad decisions.
Who know? Yeah, they make bad decisions. Yes, he shouldn't have been doing what he did, but we don't know what was going on beforehand, and they were already in a bad position.
Yeah.
Not saying he's a bad person for what he did, and not saying that her story isn't important, but there were a lot of things that could have happened to prevent this, and that's why I'm like, God, only God knows.
Well, that's why I don't ever take a stand on things like that, because first of all, I don't have all the facts to make a judgment.
And no one does.
Right? And I'm the first, I have no problem saying, he raped her, whatever. I just don't want to be on the other end saying, well, maybe he didn't rape her, because if you take 1 second to look on the inverse of it, you'll just get ripped apart, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not defending rape by any means, but if you go against the grain on any issue whatsoever, you can look at medical marijuana, you can look at abortion. If you go against the grain, the leftist grain that's perpetuated through the media, you're gonna get ripped apart no matter what. And that's why I think with that post, I wasn't shocked that I got so much heat, but I was amazed by the amount of people that disagreed. That there's no, I don't know.
Lesson learned.
Think more than 5 minutes before you post something on Facebook.
Not to delete them on Facebook. Come on. Who
That's
these
true.
people are going to go see 50 Shades on Valentine's Day?
Well, yeah.
It comes out on Valentine's Day. You're just going to be watching it. We're going to do this too.
I hope my girlfriend
Come to the theater and get horny with all of us.
Oh, what's that guy saying that Happy Death Day? Welcome to the...
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Pleasure Dome.
Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
And he starts dancing.
I told my girlfriend I have a surprise for her on Valentine's Day for our date.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to dinner. I hope she doesn't think that I'm taking her to see 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades. Is it darker?
I darkest.
Dark.
Dark.
Oh, man. All right.
Shenanigans, though.
Shenanigans.